And so let's continue. What we'll do is we'll implement the methods of object class for rectangle and cuboid. Okay, let's see how we can create these methods now. Okay, so overriding methods for okay. So that's the next thing we'll do. Fine. You remember all the methods, right? Which we can override. What are the methods? Three methods very commonly overridden. Which are the three methods very commonly overridden?
toString,
Public
hardcode,
toString. Okay.
equals.
Yeah. Int hash code and equals, right? Okay, fine. So three methods at least we should be overriding. Okay, fine. And we can do it even for the account class and fine everywhere. Okay, so let's open those code for. Okay, let's start with what? Rectangle. Okay, fine. In rectangle, I think we have done one of the methods, but we can probably change it. Okay, fine. We have done the method called toString, I think. Yeah. So we have done toString. Acha, we commented it yesterday. Okay, fine. So in this toString, right, see the change which I'll make, and you'll understand the reason why I'm making that change. Okay, I'll just put a plus, and no, we don't want to say rectangle hard coding like this. Okay, instead of hard coding like this rectangle, okay, you can just say get class or this dot get class if you want. So with this dot get class, what do I get? Whatever the current object is, right? That object's class object. Okay. And so if it is the object of rectangle, then the class object for the rectangle, right? Or you can say rectangle dot class. If it's a subclass cuboid object, yeah, because even if someone creates an object of cuboid and calls toString on that, which method will be used? If it has not been overridden in the cuboid class, it will use this only, right? Okay, so when I said this dot get class, it doesn't always mean the object of the rectangle class. It could be the object of the rectangle class or a subclass, and subclass of the rectangle. Okay, this here could be cuboid also. Okay, fine. So get class dot get simple name. Okay, and then we put a colon and say length by width. Okay, yeah. So that's how you're overriding the method for string conversion. Okay, okay. Let's also override method for equals. Okay, yeah. So we have the we have the public boolean equals to be overridden, where an object is given as a parameter. Yeah. So if any object is given, what's the first thing you'll do? You're comparing a rectangle for equality with some other object. You would like to compare with object with rectangle only, right? If it is not a rectangle, then it can't be equal. Okay, so how do you check that? If not, okay, and let's put O instance of rectangle. Okay, if O is not an instance of rectangle, then return false. Okay, fine. Now, when do we consider two rectangles to be equal? It is ensured that only if it is a rectangle, you will be coming to this point, right? Okay, so that object happens to be a rectangle. Okay. Okay, you want to use that R here. Recollect this. If not O instance of rectangle R, if I put, then what will happen? In the else part, okay, if I'm writing a else, okay, let's test whether without else also will it be available, since we are having a return only inside that. So does R become available to me here? Okay, when we are just testing it out, right? So if what is the idea about this? Casting, automatic casting for me, and making R available as a rectangle type. Okay, fine. So what's the next check? For them to be equal, length must match, right? If not, okay, instead of not, we'll say if this dot length, and the current object rectangle's length is not equal to R dot length. Okay, I don't have to do casting because R is going to be available by casting. If this dot length is not equal to R dot length, then again return false. And if this dot width is not equal to R dot width, then again return false. Okay, so we have this check that it should be a rectangle. Okay, the length must match, the width must match. If it doesn't do anything, yes, we are returning a false. If it has passed all these three tests, then I'll return a true. Okay, fine. Let's try compiling this, because yeah, I just want to check whether the R thing is working. Otherwise, we may have to put a else part. Okay, or you do a casting each time. Okay. Okay, so let's compile. Geometry shapes rectangle.java. Let's compile this. Okay, so it compiles. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so now, okay, we updated the toString. Let's run the test rectangle. Okay. The string conversion, yeah. Okay, so R1 is and rectangle colon 7 by 5. So that's working for us. Okay, string conversion is working fine. We have replaced the hard coding of the class name rectangle which was there. Okay, and let's run the, okay, I think we can update the code for test cuboid and then run the test cuboid also. Okay, because we would like to test it in the subclass what happens. Okay, okay, so let's test in the subclass. The subclass is within the this is the subclass, right? The one which uses inheritance. So yeah, this is here. Okay, yeah. So here we have not overridden the toString method. That's correct, right? There's no overriding of toString. Okay, and we have the test cuboid then. Okay, yeah. So within test cuboid, yeah, what is the code we are having? Okay, our import is for, so when we use cuboid, right, it is the subclass, right? Okay, inheritance.cuboid. Right? So cuboid here is a by default cuboid means the one which uses inheritance. Okay, so we haven't done a string conversion for cuboid anywhere. Okay, so let's try that here. Okay, maybe the last thing we do is here system.out.println C1, sorry, C1 is and plus C1. Okay, so this will do the string conversion for cuboid. C1 is the subclass. Okay, let's try this. So we are only testing currently the string conversion. Okay. Yeah. Test cuboid.java, and let's run the code. Yeah, C1 is, you can see cuboid colon, and it's only giving me length and width because that's according to the superclass. And there was no overriding for length and width in the cuboid class. So this is now using the toString of rectangle. Okay, so we are still working with the toString of rectangle, but managing to get the class name correctly. Okay, and then the next thing. So now let's override. And it's giving you an idea of how we should be overriding the toString in cuboid. Yeah. Right. So we override. Okay, so here, what do we say? Return super dot toString. Right? So if I just say super dot toString, whatever we got currently, right? Plus, okay, by plus this dot height. We had the additional parameter height. And so we can always be using, when you are overriding a method, you may be able to use the method of the superclass. Okay, fine. So this should take care now to get the, for cuboid, according to cuboid, yes, the string conversion which we want, fine, that can be managed now. Okay, 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 test cuboid, and let's run the code. Okay, fine. So we did this for toString method. Okay, now let's talk about the, fine. So clear about the toString method. Fine. How in, so the use of one thing, why I wanted you to understand the class, right? And in the toString here we have used get class dot get simple name. Okay,